lacking down or scenario.
Does everybody see themselves? And myself.
Good afternoon, good evening rather, everybody. My name is Michael Williams. This is my demonstrative speech I'm going to do today for our public speaking class. This is our final speech. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to try to run through it as quickly as I possibly can. Chess is a thinker's game, as a lot of people know, because it involves a lot of strategies and things of that nature. Today I'm going to basically demonstrate how to properly play chess. Chess helps a person to exercise strategically in your mind. It also helps, it's a good stress reliever, and it's a good hobby. I've been playing chess since I was 9 years old. It's been a while now. First, you're going to need materials to play chess. You're going to need the pieces to play, and you're going to learn how to actually win the game. Now that we know what to expect today and what we're going to go over, let's just start with the materials we're going to need to play. You're going to need a chessboard, and you're going to need the accessories that come along with the chessboard, which are the dark and the lighter pieces. It's always dark versus light, whether it be whatever the colors may be, dark brown, light brown, black, white. It's always that way. Next thing is the pieces. Basically, the pieces, we have the pawns, we have the rooks, we have the knights, we have the bishops, we have the queen. The pawns all line up on the front row. How the pawn moves, he only moves one space at a time. On his first move, he can move two spaces. So you can, on your first move with any of these pawns, move up 2 spaces or 1. Next, let's talk about the rook. The rook can move only in straight lines, up, down, wherever at on the board, but it can only move in straight lines. Everybody get that? Next we have the knight. The knight moves in an L shape, 2 spaces up, 1 space over, in any direction. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. Next we have the bishop. The bishop moves in diagonals anyway across the board, but it has to stay on the color in which it started out on. So if it starts off on black, it has to move in diagonals on the black. If it starts out on red, it has to move in diagonals on the red. Next we have the queen. Queen is the strongest piece on the board. The queen can move in any direction, any way it wants to go. Only thing the queen can't move is like a horse in the L shape. But any other move the queen can make. The king is, everyone else is there to protect, to make sure that the king doesn't get taken down. Those are the pieces that you're going to need to get started playing chess. Next is the checkmate. The checkmate is basically the object of the game is to trap your opponent's king, to make sure that your opponent's king cannot move in no directions. So we have the king, which can only move 1 space at a time. It's limited to 1 space. If we have an opponent's, let's say an opponent's queen, an opponent's rook here, this would be a checkmate because of the fact that the queen or the king cannot take this queen here, and it has no other options where to move, because if it takes this rook, it loses. If it moves here, it loses. If it moves here, it's in the path of death, and it loses. So the object of the game is to stop the other person's king from being able to move. You all now we know what it takes to play chess, and we know what it takes to win in chess. Let's just do a quick review. We have the materials we need, we have the pieces we need, and we have basically learned how to do a checkmate. With those brief skills, anyone should be able to at least be able to start playing chess and winning. I thank you for listening. Any questions?
Yeah. Why does the pawn have so many more members than say some of the other pieces? Like say a rook, there's like 2 rooks per se, 2 knights, but there's more pawns. Is there any strategic reason why it's set up like that?
Yeah, and that's a good question too, is because of the fact that these pawns Each one of them are very valuable because they protect the king first and foremost. That's why you have so many of them to protect the king. But also as the game gets deep, once you get down to the other end of someone's board, like in checkers, when you get to the top, you get a double checker. You get king. In this instance, if I have a pawn that moves this far up, any piece that my opponent has in his jail, I can take out and replace it with whatever piece that I want. So, say I have my queen was taken off the board, and I move my pawn up. I would say now I want my queen. The pawn comes off, and the queen comes in.
Yeah, is chess a very popular sport, popular game?
Sort of, kind of, yes and no. A lot of people find chess to be boring, but those that find chess to be fun, there's a lot of people that are into it. So I would say yes and no. It's hard to say no, and it's hard to say yes.
So basically, chess is like playing checkers.
Kind of. In the sense that you have, you reverse your opponents, but chess is a lot more detailed than checkers.
Mm-hmm.
On average, how many different, say, strategic ways is there to win on the opponent's side?
Oh man, there's so many. Because it's 64 squares on the board, it's like, there's numerous ways, hundreds of ways to trap your opponent into doing what it is that you want them to do, which is basically surrender their king.
Thank you.
Film the crowd first?
Film the crowd.
You want to film the crowd before you stop?
Film the crowd.